Hey Brickheads, Scott from 36 Bricks here, taking a look at all my MOCs from 2023. Let's check it out. Alright guys, super excited as we are going to break down all of my MOCs for 2023. Super excited about to showcase a recap of the builds. Again, this is my city, still a work in progress. Definitely have a lot of things to change and do. Let's check out the MOCs from 2023. Alright guys, so first things first, part one of my Coral Reef MOC. Super excited that I went ahead and put this together. I've been saving up the parts for years and years and years, and was super excited to put it together. Unfortunately, I pretty much took it all apart and started over and added a bunch more things, but you guys will see that here in the near future. But ultimately, wanted to share this MOC. This is one of my favorites so far, and essentially it's just building a coral reef for my city, and this is actually just a display piece. The only thing that I have planned for it is to display it in or for events. Definitely draws the eye and is very colorful, and people love to look at it. Alright guys, so here we have part two, the second half of the build without the submarine base. And again, I went ahead and in the future, I went ahead and modified it and changed it out, but I really loved how this turned out. Got a nice little treasure trove or treasure cave in there, got a lot of nice animals, stingrays, sharks, all that kind of fun stuff. Room for a moon base, lots of fish along the rock walls and the coral, and really enjoyed the build. Most of it I built on Livestream. Had a lot of fun doing it, just kind of putting it together. You know, some things are kind of randomized, some things were planned out, but all in all, a great build and second half to my Coral Reef. Alright guys, third MOC that I want to showcase is the actual submarine base for the build. So I went ahead and put a lot of things together, wanted to emulate the old style submarine base from the underwater series from a long time ago. Wanted to keep the feel and all of that for the build. Was really excited to put together implements of city sets, as well as my own kind of designs, you know, the beds and the shelving and stuff like that. I really loved how it turned out. I did go ahead and change it and modify it for the new version of my Coral Reef, but I kept the essence of the build and kept what I had going here. I just changed up a few things, got rid of a little bit of the outside, shrunk it down a little bit, but ultimately this is a great piece. Really enjoyed building it, really incorporated labs and sciencey stuff into the builds, and then this is how it looks before I kind of took it all apart. So very vibrant as far as different things going on with it, but ultimately it was a lot of fun to build and put together. So hope you guys enjoy this kind of stuff. Just let me know in the comments below. Series of MOCs, and there's quite a few of them, are the Fast and Furious MOCs. So super excited to showcase these builds. I really was hopeful that LEGO themselves were going to produce a bunch of these, but essentially what I did here for this particular MOC is I turned their yellow Subaru into the orange Subaru. just because that's what was in the Fast and Furious car movies. I didn't have the green sides for it, but I really loved how it turned out. I was really hoping that they were going to extend the line. They came out with Dom's Charger and the Skyline, but they didn't come out with any of the other cars, which was pretty disappointing. So wanted to showcase that. I also went ahead and did the green car. As you can see, it came out really nicely. Kind of modeled it after what was in the movies, kind of put it together here and there, and it was a lot of fun. Just modifying the different pieces, coming up and finding all the pieces that go to the car, making sure that the design worked with the still images that I found online, all that kind of fun stuff. And it was fairly easy to make. Definitely wish that Lego had produced the entire line of the movie cars, but can't win them all. But ultimately, I do think that it turned out really nicely. One of the bad parts about these cars is a lot of them look the same because they're built the same, right? So I tried to incorporate different aspects and build certain things in certain cars. Not necessarily all of them, but just kind of incorporated what I could with what I had. This is the Jetta, or Jesse's Jetta. Super cool car, and it definitely goes with the sets. I like the scale of it. I like the look and feel of it. It is a little boxy. I've got to admit that. However, that is the style of the car. It is kind of a boxy looking car. So, but I do like how it turned out. I think it turned out really well. Had a lot of fun building it. I think I built it on stream. I think I built all of these on stream, or at least collected the parts for them. I can't remember. But ultimately, that was kind of my goal, is to kind of replicate all of the cars from different movies, and not just all of the cars, but a lot of the key cars that were different. This car coming up is Mia's, I believe it's a Ford. It was a fun car, had a lot of fun with it. Some of the curves are a little bit off. I mean, obviously I'm not a Lego designer, so I think they would kind of do a better job at doing it, but I also used pieces that I had. I didn't want to order anything or change anything up more than what I could. So I just kind of tried to implement what I was seeing in the design of it and use all of the pieces that I had. I didn't want to have to order anything. Next car is Ryan's, or Brian's, I should say, red truck. It's only in the movie for a short period of time, but when he works for the car company or the parts company, this is what he drives. It isn't as sleek as I wanted it to be, but it still looked nice. I did really enjoy working on the build and kind of putting it all together. Like I said, it is more boxy. It's not as streamlined or aerodynamic, I guess you could say. But ultimately, it is a great build. I really enjoyed the build, and it will be a great addition to my city. Super excited to have it. Next build is the blue. It's actually Mia's blue. I believe it's a Super. I can't remember. It might be an Eclipse that she drives. Again, unfortunately, all of the cars start looking very similar, so I started trying to do different designs to make it look right in the from the pictures, and I think I did a fairly good job. Please let me know in the comments below if you like my content and want more. Please consider joining one of my memberships. Every little bit counts and goes right back into the channel, and it is much appreciated. So again, going back to the build here, really like how it turned out. Super excited to have it a part of my city, and move on to the next one. So the next one here is Suki's Toyota. It's the Honda 2000 that essentially was popular in the first one. So what they did was they took the design, painted it up, and made it into somebody else's car. The front of it, to be honest, is not perfect for me, but there wasn't a whole lot of options with this color of car. As you can see, I kind of put some back seats, which in the movie didn't have back seats, but ultimately I think it turned out really good. It's definitely going to be a great part of my city, and I'm really going to enjoy having it. So yeah, that was Suki's Honda 2000. Coming up next is another one of the cars that I'm super excited to showcase. And it is the Hulk car. So I didn't implement, obviously, the graphics for the Hulk, but I did want to keep the essence of the build in the car. I thought it was a pretty, kind of cheesy addition to the Fast and Furious line, but ultimately it looked really good, so I wanted to incorporate it. So again, a little boxy, but that's the style of the car itself. I really loved Bow Wow's. I can't remember if he was going by Little Bow Wow or Bow Wow at the time, but his version or his vehicle. So pretty excited about how it turned out. Left a gap in the middle of the front for the jaw, but ultimately I really liked how it turned out. Turned out pretty good. Next car up, and last but certainly not least, another one of Dom's Chargers. It is the red, I can't remember the year, I think it's 67 Charger, but it turned out really good. I'm actually really excited about this version. Of course, Dom had the black Charger all throughout the series, but at one point he does drive this red Charger, which turned out pretty cool in the build. As you can see, it's really streamlined. It was very easy to kind of put together and build. And ultimately, I really love how it turned out. It turned out awesome. What do you guys think? Let me know. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like my content and want more. Please consider joining one of my memberships. Don't hesitate to comment below. Let me know what you guys think of my builds. All right, so I have to be honest, this is not a mock. Obviously, this is a set. However, I am in the process of mocking it out. So I wanted to showcase this video because ultimately my Sanctum Sanctorum is not finished. It's not even close to being finished. But did want to showcase it as it is a build that I did showcase and build on live streams during live streams. But ultimately, the Sanctum Sanctorum, I actually built one myself a couple of years ago, and it was a lot of fun. I really loved the build. It was based on a set that they came out, I believe, in 2019, and then I mocked it out. It was just a facade build originally. And then what I ended up doing is making it a full modular. Now, this year, or in 2023, they came out with the Sanctum Sanctorum, which was amazing. Ultimately amazing. Great minifigures, great build. Definitely a build that can go in any city, whether you like Marvel or not. And it was a joy to build. However, it was very lacking. So, just wanted to talk a little bit about what I did. So, I went ahead and combined two of them. And again, I am still working on it. You guys will be seeing the update here in 2024. My plan is to finish it. And so, I went ahead and raised the build up just slightly because I put it on a double mills plate, and then two, I wanted to get to a point where we could add in the spell room, we could add in the dungeon where in Spider-Man No Way Home you had the villains because they go to this Sanctum Sanctorum, and you really get the feel of the actual build. So I wanted to incorporate that. In this particular build, the staircase is very underwhelming. I wanted to make it a little bit bigger and grander, like I did my original build. I also wanted to include different things from different movies that we've seen, like in Doctor Strange, where we see portals and stuff like that. I wanted to incorporate a lot more of that because I don't feel like it did a good enough job in that. With this set, again, it came with a lot of minifigures, as I'm showing here right now, and I was puzzled a little bit on some of the minifigures for Sanctum Sanctorum. It did not include the main villain of the first Doctor Strange movie. It also didn't include the Sorcerer Supreme. This build is, I believe, primarily focused on Multiverse of Madness, which is fine, but at the same time you do get the Sorcerer Supreme and the Multiverse of Madness in the Avengers series, and some of the aspects of the Avengers series, you know, Avengers Endgame and Infinity War, you do get a lot of aspects that weren't in this. Some of the other aspects were just very short and hidden and not very good, but you know, other parts of this were fantastic. The details in the roaming staircasing and the portals and stuff like that were pretty awesome. The exterior to this build is epic. Like, I really love how it turned out. So with my future, or with my mock, the one that I was working on, I did close up a lot of the walls, just because when they protrude out you can't get them snug up against other walls. But like I said, I combined two of them to make a bigger and better build, raising it up a little bit. Again, still working on some of the aspects, so that's why it's not showcased here. But again, I do promise that I will be focusing on it this year, here in 2024, and really digging deep on it. For the most part, I have the first half of it done. The second half, I am still working on. It mainly has to do with the upper flooring. I wanted to get that rotation of flooring and that stretching of the flooring, but it's not quite working out the way that I thought it would. So there is a little bit more that I have to work on for that. So again, I know this is a big voiceover video. Thanks for sticking with me and hanging out with me the whole time. I hope you guys are really enjoying this, or these kinds of builds. You know, I do, and I hope you guys are enjoying my videos. Again, don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends about me. You know, hopefully when I do events, you can come out and see the different events that I'm, you know, displaying at, and you know, get a chance to chat with you and see what you guys like to build and all that kind of fun stuff. So lots and lots of fun. Alright guys, so here we have the Ministry of Magic mock. Super excited about this build. I built it and rebuilt it a couple times, but ultimately finished on this version here. Super excited about the build. The moment I saw it, I was like, oh, I could definitely use that, use the essence of their build and turn it into, you know, a build of my own. I did feel like the red was just, the red and green in particular was a little Christmassy, so I went ahead and took out all of the red and decided to put it in and replace it with white, give it a little bit more feel. The first floor that that I did was a gem store and precious gem and metal store. Then the upper floors are essentially apartments, or one single apartment, I should say, or townhouse. 3 floors. First floor is the living space. I went ahead and in this video you can kind of see the size and scale. It kind of, you know, it works well with my city in general. But as you can see here, the first floor is the precious gems and stones. Really liked the fact that LEGO has produced a lot of things that look like stems and jones and all of that fun stuff. Then we have here the living space with bathroom. I went ahead and did pocket doors instead of regular doors just to save on space. Then the next up, we have their bedroom, the adult bedroom. Again, has the bathroom in it. No shower or anything. And then the third and final floor is the nursery. Felt that was a good added, you know, perk to throw in some babies, since we don't get a whole lot of them in the city line and all that. But ultimately it was a really fun build. Have a lot of parts left over, but really excited to put this into my city. Next up is the Noodle House restaurant. So I took and bought 5 Creator 3-in-1 noodle shops and wanted to make it a full build. Now, one of the reasons I got 5 was because I knew I needed some of the parts for a different build. But ultimately, I loved the bike workshop. I turned the other part into a grocery store, but I the aspect of the Creator 3-in-1, I will say, I loved all three builds of it. I already had an arcade, so I didn't really do anything with that, but I did want to incorporate the noodle store and the bike repair shop. So super excited about that. So the first floor, again, one side is the bike repair shop, the second is a market. Then the second floor is the restaurant itself. Super excited to have that as part of my city. Really wanted those. And then the top floor is a nice little small apartment. You know, it's nothing big, nothing fancy, but, you know, just enough for some space. I really love the outside, so I kept a lot of the details of the outside and the essence of the outside, and then just incorporated different things. I also added, at first it was an outdoor or exterior staircase, but then I decided that that wasn't logistically sound, as if it rained, the water would come inside instead of stay out, so I went ahead and modified that. But ultimately, I really love how this build turned out. If you haven't seen this video, now this isn't the regular build video. I did add a lot of the details for inside. You can definitely check that video out on my channel. Last but certainly not least, the Grand Boutique Hotel. So I wanted to incorporate a big hotel in my city. The hotel that they came out with was good, but I just wanted to make it bigger. There wasn't a whole lot to it, so I went ahead and you know, did like an embassy style grand hotel with a lot of boutiques on the first floor. I wanted to mirror the front of it and then work on the back. So as you can see here from the roof, there is a rooftop pool with a nice little bar, some lounge seating, and all of that kind of fun stuff, and then a negative space pool, which I really enjoyed working on. On the interior of this particular top floor section is basically a restaurant or a party room. As you can see here, got some great details on the floor for patterns on marble flooring. Got a nice little stove or wood burning stove in there for pizzas and goodies, and nice little seating area, little check-in area, and then the pool here itself. Super excited about this build. It took me a while, and I am actually still working on some of it. As you can see here, the first floor, I've been working on it steadily, but it's still not finished. I did get some parts in that I definitely will be using, so pretty stoked about that, but ultimately there is still a little bit to do. So here, as you can see here, we have a nice little pottery stove. Then we went into blown glass. This section is empty, but I believe it's now full. I just can't remember what it is off the top of my head. You'll have to wait to see that, because you will be seeing the update in 2024. There's not much left to do. I know that I got to do quite a bit, but it is something that's going to be coming out in 2024. So please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next time on 36.
Ooh, this one's cool. Check this one out. I agree, that one's cool, but this one's awesome. Ooh, I like this one. I just can't stop watching. Well, I like them all, and I'm going to subscribe. Can you do the same? Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on 36 Bricks.